Good afternoon everybody, and a very warm welcome to Behringer. And today I have a layout update for you, and also I suppose the theme is going to be housekeeping, just from the point of view that it's going to be a lot of tidying up around the layout. So let me get on and let you know what I've been doing. I've currently got a number of projects on the go, and down below you've got kind of an odd combination of a 25, pulling my recently repainted Mark II network rail coaches, along with just a random Mark I buffet car, and they've actually been used on for actual testing on my own layout. I'm actually using these coaches specifically to test things on my layout anyway. I know they're used as a radio survey train in life, but on my layout I'm currently actually using them just to generally test corners and test any alterations that I've made, and I actually tend to use these coaches. So that's what I've been doing. My other bit that I have here is my 2-car 158 in the Alpha Wales West livery, and that's also been doing some testing, and I will explain to you exactly what these things have been testing. One of my other projects that's been on the go, as some of you may have been following, was my Arriva Trains Wales project, and I haven't finished it, but I'll let you know. I'll show you quickly how far. I'm not too far off, so let me show you what I've got. This is my Mark III, which was in original Intercity livery. This side is virtually completed. I haven't done the yellow on the other side, and then I can basically spray this all up and get this all varnished. My Mark II, again, this hasn't been finished either. It needs the orange lining on the top. I was trying to get some labels from Railtech, and quite frankly a lot of people seem to like them, but they've been completely useless to me. I've emailed them and I've heard nothing, and this is going back a few months. So so basically these labels here are all from Precision Labels, not from Railtech. They're from Precision Labels. Let me tell you something about these. These are all water slide, and they are absolute nightmare to get on, just because you have to get them right first time. Really, you do. There isn't really much room for error with these labels, and especially when you're trying to put one label on top of the other, which is what we had to do here with the first class going on top of the bar here. That was a complete nightmare. I've managed to sort of get away with it and fix it and all the rest of it, and I think ultimately these have all come out really well, but they all need spraying. Got this Mark II, which is also in the process. This has had its orange striping done on the top. It needs some passengers, so that's why the roofs are still off, because I'm actually waiting to get some passengers. I'm going to be tackling the orange lining on that. Basically, it's had to be hand painted because I just got fed up of waiting for Railtech to get back to me, and I've just trying to work out a way of doing it to make it look really nice and neat and precise, even though it's hand painted, but it looks really good. This one's the one that's going to be the nightmare to do, just because the roof doesn't come off because it's attached to the body, and trying to get this orange line along here is going to be really, so I'm not sure about that yet. But the body isn't mounted yet onto the chassis because, again, there's some people to go on the front, so that's going to be on the front part here, because that's the luggage area. But I'm really happy with the labels. I followed the images I found on Google, and I'm really pleased with it. So we're not too far off finished. It won't be too far. Both sides are done on all of them. The only thing is like I said, on the Mark III, the yellow line hasn't been done on the other side, and on this one the orange striping hasn't been done on that side. So they're all at various sort of stages of being completed. And in fact, my Mark III buffet car, because this is the only Mark III I have, believe it or not, in my entire fleet, and so that was attached to my test train the other day to see how it would go around Moorwood and also around these corners here. So It really is, and that 25 was basically the only logo I actually physically had to hand without having to take it out of the box. So that's why that's just been pulling that. So it's just a bit of an oddball combination, but it kind of works. We've now moved down to Moorwood Station, and basically I'm currently on holiday at the moment for a couple of weeks. So I've decided to take this first week to do some bits on the layout. And what I've decided to do, there was going to be some major work to do on the layout, but I've decided against it because I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do, or how it, well, I knew what I wanted to do, but I just wasn't quite sure how to execute it. So rather than completely start on it and get completely flustered with it all, I decided not to bother and wait until I was completely certain as to what I wanted to do. So what I've decided to do instead is decided that I'm going to do some housekeeping around the layout. And what I mean by that is I've actually got this side of it ballasted, and then I made some track alterations along here, and now I've had to take some ballast off. So basically all these ballast bits that are not ballasted, I'm basically going to marry it up and tidy it up with that section there. So that means we'll have a whole complete section tidied and ballasted. Also the point motors needed to be refitted as well, so that's something else I'm going to want to do. Also, if we move further down around to Moorwood Station, we'll come to the other side of Moorwood, which is going to be here. That bit needs to go up there, possibly. Anyway, now I've got a bridge section, and but what I decided to do is, as you can see, I've decided to lift. There was a platform that came all the way along here, and basically I've decided to lift that, as you can see, and also the track that goes alongside that. So this track will no longer be here. This bit I haven't actually taken up yet, but I will do, and then basically just going to do a cover up and just basically make that platform wider. And the work I was actually going to do on the layout, major sort of improvements, was I was actually going to do some work over on that side of the layout, but I've decided that because I'm not 100% sure what I was going to do, I knew the idea in my head what I wanted, but like I said, it was the execution of it. I decided that I'm not going to do that instead. What I'm going to do is just concentrate on tidying up the layout and sorting out some bits that I wanted to do. So back here, this is the bridge section, the bit that comes lifted up. So I've just simplified the track. It's just two tracks coming through here, and then there's just this one point. Now this one point, when I took it up, kind of got a bit twisted, so I'm not sure how. It's still working well enough, but I'm thinking I might just spend the extra money and just put a brand new point in there, and saves all the mucking around. But as you can see, all of this back bit of it is all gone. Now, and I've still got the platform here because I'm going to keep this. And those of you, my vintage subscribers, will know what I'm about to talk about. If you're relatively new, you probably would have missed it. But this bridge section is a lift up section and has had various incarnations in its lifetime. And I did a section some time ago about a lift up section with a seam, and it had a disused station along here and a disused. And basically what I've decided to do is carry that theme on again. So this is how it looks at the minute, but I've designed and created a new lift up section, so when I drop this down you can just remove it. Here we still kept the bridge because the whole point of it is to marry it all up. So if I just pan out a bit, you can sort of see that's the nuclear flask section, and then it sort of kind of goes like that now at the moment as it stands. I will be probably doing some more work along here, but at the moment I've just been tackling the lift up section, or the removable section I should say. So you'll see it once it's in place. So the inspiration for this, as you can see on my monitor, on my TV screen, is this video. And this video has some footage. It's an old DVD that I had of some railway modelling footage to do with modern image. So all these layouts that's on this DVD was actually all modern image, and I was buying them for a period, and I've kept them all, and basically just to give me some ideas on how to improve my layout. And I decided on the off chance one evening just to sort of thought, oh, let me just watch one of these and catch up. And I come across this section here, and this gave me a bit of a brainwave and some inspiration as to what to do with that removable section, and that was to create an IKEA of my own. And the reason for that is that IKEAs tend to be relatively simple buildings. They're not overly complicated in terms of their structures. They're pretty much boxes, and so in order to recreate them, they're not actually that difficult to do. So I'm just going to pop this over here. That's it, that's better. And I come across this image on the right on Google, and basically what I've decided to do is recreate it. I'm just going to try and enlarge it to make it a little bit easier for people to see. I'm just going to boost it up a bit. There you go. So I've decided I took this structure and I thought, well, this is a relatively simple structure to recreate, so hopefully I can get to do that and get to recreate it and just put it on my layout, and hopefully it'll make a big bit of a difference. And also very colourful, so it brings a bit of colour and life to the layout. So those were the inspirations, and I'm going to show you how I've incorporated it into my removable section. So here we are at Moorwood. So this is the bit you recognise. So now I'm just going to reverse out so you can see the actual removable section and what I've decided to do. So there you go. I've decided to create my own IKEA. And then I've just a couple of lorries. Well, there's a lorry there and a van coming down the hill. The back scene is just hand painted. And the idea is to marry it up with this board that's along here, and to marry it up with the bridge, which is pretty much what I've done. I've sort of followed the lines that I'd originally did on the bridge here. So that's kind of like to blend that all in. And if I just sort of zoom out like that, and then if I slowly pan round, you can see how it just sort of, try and go a bit slowly, how it blends in. So that's kind of been the sum of my working week, really, and it's been a nice little job, because this whole section here has cost me less than £6. This whole removable section cost me less than £6 to put together. The only thing I've paid for on this section was the actual stonework, which is a couple of sheets that I used. I bought 3 sheets, but I ended up only using 2. Everything else I had to hand already. I had some wood lying around, and it's all made out of ply. It's just ply that I had knocking about, and it's very light ply. The only thick ply is the base, so the side walls are thin and the back walls is thinner, and they basically attach to the thick ply that's basically the base. And then IKEA itself is made out of wood. It's just made wood and matchsticks. Basically, there's basically one thick layer of ply, which is the main bit, and then a couple of layers just give it more of a 3D effect. And then these little bits here are just the matchsticks that go across it. And then the capping on the top for the roofing, that's just out of card. Also the capping on the top of the stonework, that's also card. It's not finished yet, because I've still got to do some work on the road. I've got to add some more paving for the IKEA to sit on. And I've also got some trees which a good friend of mine, Michelle, had given me some time ago, and they're going to be one on each side. I've also got some ratio lamps which I've got knocking about, so that will give some height and also some make it more modern as well. So the only money I'm really going to spend on this layout, apart from the other £6 that I spent just on doing this bit, is going to be just to ballast it. That's it, and then that will be pretty much it for this part. like I said, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with that, but that isn't too bad. I can leave it as it is and decide what to do with it later. What I've done with the bridge is I've just added this little bit here as well, just to marry it up with this bit of the layout, so it all blends in all the way down. Those of you who are kind of wondering how these vehicles are coming down the slope and not rolling around, it's a little trick. A lot of you probably know it already, but for those of you who don't, it's a nice little tip. It's not glued or anything, but there's a matchstick there that goes across, and that is glued and painted and blended in, and basically the rear wheels sort of sit on that, and that stops it from sliding down. So those of you who don't know, it's a nice little tip. So if you want to, it's the same with this one as well, same with the camper van, just a little bit of another little matchstick there, and that just kind of stops it from rolling down the hill without having to glue it down and then ruining wheels and stuff like that. And like I said, this is completely removable. It's very light, and I think it creates a really, really nice effect. And then once the ballasting is down, it'll look even better. And I'm going to finish off this platform and tidy it up and make it look really good, because there's going to be a new addition to the layout, and that will be coming this weekend. And that will be in the form of a real track 143 Pacer. So we're going to have a Pacer on the layout, and it's going to be in a Riva Trains Wales livery. I managed to get one, but I'm going to do all the shots Model Railway Exhibition this weekend. That'll be on Saturday, so if any of you are around or available or would like to meet up or whatever, please give me a message. I'll be more than happy to look out for you. It'll probably be in the afternoon, as I'm going with another friend. So I've got some other bits and pieces to do. I've got like the railings to tidy up, maybe do a few more detailing on the layout, so on the actual platform itself. So hopefully that will work out quite nicely. This platform's quite short. It says platform 4, but it's actually been redesignated as platform 3 because platform 3 was this one here. So we're going to redesignate that one. The thing is with this bit, it is because this platform's quite short. I don't know if you can see it. Let me put you down. So yeah, you can sort of see how short it is. It's not very long. If I just reverse it out a bit, you'll probably get a better idea. Basically, the ideal candidate for using this platform would be something like my 153 single car units, 153, maybe my DPU, or maybe I haven't, because I've tried the 158 and it seems a bit too long. And the thing is, because the corner is quite tight, the actual 158 doors stick out too far, so it's like the passengers want to get off, they're going to commit suicide trying to get off the train onto the platform. So I can't use the 158s, but the 158s can terminate on this platform over here, number 1, because that's plenty long enough. Oops, sorry. So they can go there. So this platform here is really going to be for single car units like the 153 and the 121. I've also ordered a 121 from Hatton's, from Depot in the Riva Trains Wales livery, so I've also pre-ordered that. I'm not sure when that's going to come. I think that's due to come at the end of the year. So things like that will be able to use that. But I haven't. But I'm hoping that the short DMUs like the 101s and the 108, maybe the 150, because they're a bit shorter, might be able to cope with it better. But I haven't actually test run those ones yet. Like I said, I have test run the 158, but that hasn't quite. That just seems a bit too long, so you can't use 158s or the 156s along here. So that's pretty much the sum of it. I'm going to stop waffling on now because I think I've been banging on for long enough. But I hope you like what I've done so far. Like I said, it isn't 100% finished by any stretch of the imagination, but because New Shot is pretty well scenic, and I just wanted to get a lot of the layout scenic and done, and I was never really happy with this bit of the layout. I just always thought it was just too tight and too busy, and I think this looks really, really nice, and especially when you get it down to ground level, I think it's going to look really, really smart as well. I might add some advertising here just to break up this brick wall here, well, this stone wall I should say, So I might have a bit of advertising and all the rest of it, so that should be quite good. And now it marries up really nicely to the other bit where the nuclear flask train is as well. Just before I go, I'm just going to show you one other little thing, so don't go away. So just before we disappear, I managed to pick this little, don't know what the hell it is, Ford Anglia, that's what it is. It's a Ford Anglia van, you can't really see it properly. Puts the label. Oh, there you go, that's a bit better, you can see what it is now. And I managed to pick this up from a charity shop for a couple of quid. So that's a real bargain, real happy with that. So that's the last bit. So thanks for watching, please feel free to comment and subscribe as always, and I will speak to you all soon when I have more info to give you. So bye for now.